This is Egypt by Bethel and Cory Asbury. Doing it in the key of F. It's much lower than the original key, but sometimes we just play it in this key at church. So I want to do a tutorial for how I would play this if we were to play it in the key of F major. And BPM is usually around 75. So I'm consolidating the parts into one electric guitar part as if you're just like the only lead guitar playing, and yeah, just gonna be playing like the main prominent parts of the song, and I'll explain what I'm gonna play, kind of just like going through the parts individually, and then I'll do a run through with the track at the end. So to start with the track, technically there's this little intro that starts like this. Oh, sorry. I didn't have to play all that, but basically that's the part that it starts with in the track. And so I'm just doing the 5th fret and the 6th fret on the G and B strings respectively. And then ending with the E string on fret 8. So I'll play that just because that's how the track does it, but usually when we do play this live, we start with that like interlude turnaround, which I'll explain later, but it kind of sounds like this. So that's just a suggestion. It has more energy that way if you start the song there. So that's how we usually play it live, but we'll follow the track for today. So anyways, that's the intro, that's how it starts, and usually the guitar's like swelling in, so if you have an expression pedal, you kind of just like bring it in gently. Then we go into verse 1. So verse 1, basically I'd play it like this. That's kind of a lot, so and it's a fast song, relatively speaking, I guess, for those parts. So a simpler way is to cut out the like bass note and just do. So sometimes I'll do that because the piano and the bass and everything will kind of cover the chord changes for the most part. So if you want to play the whole thing, I'm doing the D string open, and then 10th fret on the G and B, and then 8th fret on the B string. And then I'm just adding my pointer finger on the 8th fret of the D string, and then 8th fret on the A string. And then going up here, it's the 10th fret on the D, and then 12th on the G, and 13th on the E. And then it's B13, B10, and then G12, G10. So that's the little verse 1 into the pre-chorus. Same thing for the pre-chorus. That's that little riff. On the last one, right before you go into the chorus, I do. So that's just cutting out the and just doing G10 to 9. And then we get into chorus 1. So chorus 1, I'll add a little more reverb, and then I'm playing on the 10th fret of the E string, just letting it ring out, and then sliding up to the 13th, to the 13th on the B string, and then 10 on the B string, and then 8 on the E and B. So I do that twice, and then go into that interlude which I mentioned earlier. So that's the 6th fret on the B string, 7th fret on the G, 5th on the E, and then 8th on the B, 8th on the E, to 5, and then 8, 6 on the B string. So we do that like once, I think, and then go into verse 2 and the pre-chorus. And so for that, I'm just doing these little staccato pedals. So it's 3rd fret on the D string, 5th fret on the G. I'm doing like 3 hits on the D, 1 hit on the G. So, and then going to 5/5. Do that like 4 times, I think, in total, 3 or 4 times, and then the last time I go. So that's 3rd fret on the A string to the 5th fret on the D, and then just bringing in that G5 again. That brings us to chorus 2. So chorus 2 is a bit bigger, of course, and I'm doing the same thing that I was doing before for the chorus, just adding in a few more notes. So starting on E10, and then going 10, 8, 10. So B10, 8, or E8, and then E10. So it's like that. Slide that up to the 13th. So B13, and then it's this little, I don't know, this little lick here. It goes 8, 10 on the B string to 8 on the E string, and then you just go back down. So, and then 10th fret on the G, and then you just do the same thing again. So it sounds like this. Slow it down. Here, I'll play it here. Do it again. And then you just repeat the whole thing. So that's the chorus, and then we do that like once or twice, depending on how many times you want to repeat it. And that brings you into the bridge. And so there's a little, just a little vamp right before the bridge where I cut out, like I'm not playing, and then I swell in really big with the 13th fret on the B and E string. So it just sounds like this. Just to kind of like anticipate what's coming, and then you get into that huge bridge, which is really fun to play. So we're on the G string on the 10th fret, and I'm usually going like pinky to pointer finger here, because that's the most comfortable way for me to play it with my hands. So I'm going 10th fret on the G to the 7th, and then 10th fret on the D string to the 7th, and then 10th fret on the A string to the 8th. So altogether it sounds like this. And the plucking is just kind of following the drums. But yeah, that's basically it. And then the only difference, once you get into the actual, that's what you do for like the instrumentals, and once you get to the actual bridge where they start to sing the part, I swap it for the first part. And I noticed David Hislop does this in his tutorial. I'll link his tutorial as well for this song, just because he does like a tone overview and goes through all these parts in more detail than I am. So it's very helpful. So if you want to watch that, I'll link that in the description. But what he does is for the first one, he goes like this. So he just kind of swaps the order of that, and then does the second one normally. So you do that a bunch of times, you repeat it, and then the last time at the end of the bridge, when you're kind of just like building right up to the big chorus, I go here, which is the 10th fret on the B string, and then 8th fret on the B to the 8th on the E. Big break, and then you go back into a huge chorus, which is the same thing. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. I end on the G string on the 10th fret, and let that ring out as we kind of break down from there. So yeah, I'll put the track on so you can hear everything in context, and hope this is helpful.